essentially, the benefit of applying with a recruiter is actually that we have a very broad scope of the market. So if you were to apply kind of to us, it may not be the case that there's only one opportunity that we have that fits your profile. And then that kind of opens up obviously where you can apply, the kind of companies you can reach out to. And although we do work a lot on kind of live opportunities, so kind of introducing you and giving interviews and things like that, we have a lot of connections in the market. So it may be the case that we can share your profile with someone that we know your skill sets would be needed within their team, and they may not even be hiring, so that the company may not be advertising a role and things like that. So it kind of gives you an in without you having to kind of do a lot of work yourself.
Sometimes recruiters have access to roles which might not be posted, so that's one advantage that we have. Sometimes clients come up to us directly and they don't want to post it themselves, so that's sometimes why it's good to talk to recruiters, because you'll have access to roles which maybe you wouldn't have found yourself.
There's too many roles that never get advertised. I think that's completely true. And obviously us as recruiters, our job is to have these relationships and network that we have been building for years and years. So people trust us and people want to work with us. And it's too obvious that there are many roles that never gets advertised, especially at the higher level. So we want to have a good network of recruiters.
We're a headhunting agency, so we go to the market and we find our people, versus companies that post vacancies and wait for this influx. And we operate a little bit more under the radar, so our clients come to us because they know we do a full market scan, and we build our lists on a proactive headhunting strategy, versus let's post a job on LinkedIn that the client has already done, and let's see who magically appears.
Yep.
On the other hand, having more of an influx of direct applicants, of people say, hey, I've seen your agency, like what you do, I'm thinking about changing jobs and I need some help. Can we connect? It's extremely refreshing because they tend to be the ones that have something extra to offer.
If a company were to advertise a position, you get bombarded with so many. I mean, 80-90% of the applications are completely not relevant. And some companies, some people, a lot of people just do not have the luxury or time to be dealing with these applications that do not make sense. So they'd rather pay a recruiter to get the job done. If the recruiter already knows 3 to 5 great people, it's a quick thing. They don't even have to advertise a role. And I always also say that the best candidates out there are the ones who are actually not searching, not actively looking for the role. So we are really headhunting them. It's the passive candidates that we typically say are the best. Could be the best. They're great in their job, they're happy in where they are, and it's got to be a stellar role that pulls them away from what they're doing. These candidates will never apply for a job. You see what I mean? So even if I were to put up an advert, they will not apply for the role.
Even if you're not looking, it's very good to just have that conversation, because you can highlight, okay, I am not looking now. We can take a note. That's very easy. But what does what do the next 2 to 5 years look like? Maybe you're thinking about changing to industry. Maybe you're thinking about moving to another country. Maybe something else is happening and you want some advice. I'm thinking about a career change. Then it's very nice to have somebody to discuss it with. And if we don't know, purely because you say, well, I'm not interested in this position, then we at least know it's a no for this. But what about the next one? How do we know what you're looking for next? And to find out that information, it's just great to just have a chat. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes, sometimes it takes 50, but it's good to have those relationships and to not just keep it one-sided, but make it a mutual beneficial relationship. Yeah.
It's very beneficial to have a conversation with a recruiter, because even if I didn't have the right opportunity for you right now, obviously in kind of a few months' time, something could pop up that's the perfect fit. And we've already had that introduction call, and I'm aware that you're open in the market and what you're looking for. So it can be beneficial from a future perspective, even if you're not on the market right now as well.